Good evening, hello, good afternoon. Welcome to this issue of Broken Not Shattered. I'm here with my boy OBG. What's up, Obi?
Eh,
See
eh.
attire, see attire. I feel like
I'm in my
I feel like playing a special song for you, Obi. This kind of sports you're wearing now. This is what they call Odogu. Odogu.
Odo Odogu.
This is what we call the Odogu attire, man. You look good, brother. You look real good. Wonderful. So,
I
so,
kept
so to our audience who don't know much about what you're wearing, I think this
yeah.
would be a good place for you to open up and share with them what culture this is and a little bit about what you're wearing. While I find that song for you as a chairman,
So
you look
so
great.
so
Welcome
so
to
so this
Broken Nut Show. This is your host Ike O. Welcoming you this Saturday, this Sunday actually, the 17th of December and 2023. My co-host is in place, and that's Mr. Obi, who is from Lagos, dressed in his native attire. We're gonna also have a guest at some point today, Obi. Very good friends and old friend of mine who will have a lot to share. But right now, tell me what you're wearing, Obi. Tell me what you're wearing before we bring him in.
so this is this is called Ishiago,
Ishago.
and this is
Ishago meaning
the
what? The lion's head.
lion's head. So you see the lion's head.
Yes.
So it is reserved for the unapologetic tribe men, and this is the tribe of Igbos, in Nigeria. And they don't just wear this. It is not a regular wear. It is for men, the odogu, usually for titled men.
I was gonna
Uh,
say, yeah.
yes,
Titled
usually
men,
for
men who have accomplished something in the community and who have done great work.
yes,
Well done, man. Well done. You look great in it. You look great in it.
yes,
Well, our topic today is actually on Thanksgiving, the power of Thanksgiving. In spite of everything that we've been through, um, it's you just have to give God thanks. Scripture says, in all things, give thanks. And sometimes when
yes,
you hear that word, you don't even that all things is so broad, right? So
yes.
it's something that we have to be very, very conscious of when we hear those
Mm-hmm.
words in all things. Um,
Mm.
Talk to me about your own experience of Thanksgiving, and then I'll bring in our guest at some point when we're ready. Um, and go ahead.
It is a good thing to talk about Thanksgiving. For me, when I understood the concept of Thanksgiving, my prayer pattern changed, and I became used to prayer of thanks. So whenever I open my mouth to pray, I pray in Thanksgiving. It is a Thanksgiving pattern. So I thank God, the Almighty, for my expectations,
Mm.
for my you know,
Whoa, go ahead. Sorry, something's going on. Go ahead, Obi.
so for my expectations, my achievements, and all whatnot. You know, when you said in all things give thanks to God, I understood that all things work together for good. So for me, because all things work together for good, both good and bad inclusive, I give thanks to God when all things happen. So for me, Thanksgiving is everything. And in my dialect, there is a saying, "Ekelonya akede, your what also."
What does that? What does what
Meaning,
does that mean, though?
so if one gives you something, I am just paraphrasing it, and you thank the person, it motivates the person to give more.
Wow. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
So, so Thanksgiving is a way of encouraging the giver. It's the only way you can motivate the giver to give more. It's the only way you can tell the giver, you have done great, and the giver would want to do more. My life has been a life of thanksgiving. You see, when my wife and I got married in uni, there were things we experienced and we told ourselves that we will be picking stones, and those stones will be memorial stones of thanksgiving, so that in difficult times we will come back to give God thanks for times when He visited us. And we have always done that, and we have seen miracles in doing that. Till today, we do it. At every point, we remember what God did for us when we never expected it. Make
Wow.
you blessings.
Wow.
Things, how things turned around
Right.
miraculously for us, that only God did for us, and it has always worked for us.
I agree with you, brother. The power of Thanksgiving is second to none. It is something that, you know, if you haven't been through anything in life and you haven't experienced some very dark times, you will not appreciate it. I know that me personally, I've gone through several situations that I know that I was left for the count. You understand? Completely knocked down, left for a count out. But just in those moments, I quickly realized that the best way to deal with the situation is to rise up, and the
Mm,
best way to rise up is through Thanksgiving. So I will
mm,
start thanking God for the things that He had done for me, appreciating Him
mm,
for where He had brought me from, the
mm,
trials I've overcome, thanking Him for the power He has given me to still be here in spite of everything else, that I'm still breathing, that even the challenges that I'm facing or the situation I'm going through, that in that He has not abandoned me, He has not left
yeah,
me. And I keep on praising Him and thanking Him for the mistakes that I made that I would now learn from, and thanking Him
mm,
for not allowing me to have those mistakes become very detrimental or terminal to the point of no return. And it goes on and on and on and on. And in all that, I quickly found out that okay, it's time for me to rise up from the ashes, for lack of a better word. And
yeah,
after rising up from those ashes in that power that comes with thanking God or thanking the individual that God had used, because
mm,
sometimes He will use people in your life, right? He will bring situations and He will use people just to run beside you for that season. Sometimes they might only be there for a season. And when that season
yeah,
is done, they will move on with their lives. But you will always
yeah,
have to have a sense of gratitude and very
yeah.
thankful for what you have gone through in that season and who He has brought in your life. Our guest
Can I
today,
come
yeah, go
back
ahead.
to? So there was a time when I was solo in life. When I mean solo, I'm not ashamed to share it because it might encourage someone. Then I was quarteling with a friend in a room. All I had was the popular Gary, the popular Nigerian Gary, my bottle of granite, and sachet of pure water, not bottled water, a bag of pure water. I had my cup and spoon. But do you know how I eat that Gary? I'll pour the Gary in a cup, I'll pour my granite, I will mix it, and then I will lift it up and say, God, thank you for this sumptuous meal. God, thank you for this sumptuous meal. It became a conscious prayer for me anytime I want to drink that Gary. Can I tell you something? Today, I have eaten the best of meal with this my
Amen.
mouth. I eat that I'm hungry is not that I don't have what to eat. Is that I'm selective of what even that I'm
Obi, you're broken up just there. You broke up there. Obi, can you hear me? Wow, Obi was just giving a testimony of how good
selective,
God has been to him.
but it began,
Okay, back. Go ahead, Obi.
so it began with thanksgiving. And today, I am still thankful that the situations have changed for good.
Wow. Obi, man,
Can you hear me?
you're breaking in and out. I want to introduce my guest. He's backstage waiting to come on. I just want him to position his camera well. The way he's positioned now, it will not look well if he comes in. I sent him a couple of messages. We want to get a headshot, and my technician is telling me that we don't have a headshot of him. We have a full picture of him, which might not look good when he comes in. My guest today has been through a lot as a young man. I'll let him share his story when he comes in to whatever he feels comfortable in sharing. He is what I call resilience. When you look at the word resilience, I look at this young man, and welcome to for the first time, my old friend, good friend, family friend. I can see members of my family are going to be shouting and hailing him when he comes in. We call him Psych! Psych! Psych!
Okay. So first off, I was going. You did an initial intro before. You just said your friend. I take exception to the way you introduced me.
Okay.
I'm a member of the family.
A member of the family.
I am a member of the family. You need to put out. Straight up. I mean, I live with you.
Yes, you did.
Yes. This was my dad.
Yes.
Your mom was my mom. So anyway, that's by the way. So I'm happy to be here.
Okay, let me introduce him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, for the first time, all the way from Houston, Texas, my brother, Emeka.
Okay, an interesting topic.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm fine. So the first thing I want to say about this topic is, remember how we were taught to pray, and your mom was one of those that taught us to also pray. The first thing you do, prayer, though typically for us kids then growing up, prayer was divided into three. The first thing you do is you thank God.
Thank God.
Then the second one, you ask for forgiveness before you now bring your petition.
Before your petition.
So you can never take it away from thanking God. In fact, sometimes just thanksgiving alone is the whole prayer. When I was in Nigeria, there's one thing Nigerians, especially people of the Western extraction, used to do. Personally, I call it pro forma invoice. Once you do something for them, they've thanked you on the first one. After a week, they will send you another text. Thank you for that deal. That's how they put it. Thank you for that day. And what I usually tell my team is, see, this guy knows what he's doing. He has already given us a pro forma invoice. Eventually, he's going to ask, or he or she is going to ask for another favor. So you can't take it away from Thanksgiving, honestly. And no matter how bad, no matter how stubborn you are, once somebody says, it's just like saying sorry. Thank you. We all love you. And the real reason why some people give without ceasing is, when you tell them, when you can't say thank you frowning. Have you seen anybody say no? You say thank you, you're laughing, you're praying without even mentioning it. Right. It's all form of emotions. If you see, people, somebody like me, I drive so much emotion, so much joy. When I look at when you've done a little and you see them, going down, praying for you, thanking, all those things. It's not just thank you in word. So thank you is a metaphor in some instances. When they're praying for you, they are thanking you for what you've done for them. That it's all part of the package. It comes with added value. So whatever we need to do that will elicit a thank you from somebody, by all means we should do it. That's just the way I look at it.
I agree with you. And I think it's a foolish mind that does not realize the essence and the importance of giving thanks, right? Whether you're thanking an individual or you're thanking an institution or you're thanking God, it's that appreciation, that ability to say, you know what, you don't have to do this for me, but you chose to do it for me regardless. And because of that, they actually give thanks, So with that being said, at every given time, you just want to thank God for everything he has done for us. It's such a blessing to keep that in mind at every given time. Emeka, are you okay? You seem to be moving
Oh yeah,
around.
yeah. No, it's okay. I was just trying to get a better shot.
You're looking for a nice shot as a handsome boy.
No. Not the sun, no. Not the sun. See, not the sun. And not the sun, I beg.
It's
Don't get
okay.
distracted.
You're in Houston, Texas. Here in America,
Yes.
where we live, it's raining. You're the only one talking about sun. Come on, wait, what are you talking
But
about?
you know how the Houston weather is. It's off and on. You can see I'm wearing an inner cardigan. I'm going to church. I have to wear it here because it was cold. Yeah.
Cold earlier
Okay.
on. Yeah. So we've been talking about the power of Thanksgiving. Emeka, I'm going to bring you back to this show at a certain time to discuss some other issues.
All right.
I think that your story can actually help. But
Oh yeah, I agree.
in a nutshell, you went through a very dark season as a very young man at a very early stage.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether you're ready to talk about it or not. That's fine.
Oh yeah, why not? Yeah, I can.
You lost your wife at a very young age. Very early in the marriage. I think you have 2 kids. How old was
It wasn't very early. Okay.
Oh really?
Well, 2016. Fine. I got married in 2005, so 2016. Yeah, but it was still at a critical point. I mean, at that point where your kids, my first son was 6, the girl was 3, so that was critical. That was when they start learning certain things. Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
How were you able to navigate that very challenging time?
Okay, so really, obviously everybody will say God, and you can't take away from God. But then, really, God works through people. Okay, I remember, and this is not just me sounding patronizing. I remember the night of the week night. You were right behind me.
Yes.
Okay, I got a lot of messages. I had my family, and so I was thankful to God. And I expressed it. I was happy. I was thankful at that point in time. It looked like it was all shades of dark period, But because I had a strong family, the support was there, and and I had friends, and then of course the place I worked, and I had a wonderful in-law. My in-laws were very good. So gradually, and then the good thing was before then I was kind of close to my 2 kids. So ever since, as soon as it happened, I asked God for direction, and then He provided that direction through people. But one thing I never stopped doing, Iked, was if you go through my Facebook posts as of that year, virtually every day I was thanking Him, and that's not just me thanking Him on social media. Each time I go on my knees, I'll be thanking Him. I was even thanking Him for the ones He hadn't done. I was thanking Him because the challenge looked too enormous. Just me, see me now, scatter person like me, and I'm going to take care of 2 kids. And then all my siblings, nobody was in Nigeria then. I was the only person. So just me and this girl. And miraculously, there was this girl we brought in. This girl was supposed to be a house girl. In fact, somebody brought her from Benue. You know how it is. I've never really liked the concept of having a house girl, but then again, it was inevitable. So she joined us. She was with us when my wife died.
Sorry for interrupting you, Emeka. Just for my American and foreign audience, the term house girl means a domestic
house
help.
Girl. Domestic help.
Yeah, so we don't get it wrong.
Yeah. Okay, so my domestic help was around. So somehow, and she was quite young, maybe around 17 or 16. So before then, what I did was, you see, that's why I thank God. We removed her from that status of domestic help. We made her start school all over again. And then her own way of showing thanks, because we just removed that to God. We stopped paying her. In fact, we even had to go on vacation with her. We came to America with her. So her own way of trying to say thanks, still linking into this being thankful, was to become dedicated to my challenges. And
Sorry, you're
she
breaking
took
up.
it personal.
Can you hear?
Now,
There's a breakup in transmission on your side, Emeka. I
okay,
guess you're talking about challenges.
me here and then. Okay, so am I back? Am I back?
Yeah. You're going in and out. You're going in and out. Okay, better. Yes, you're
Well,
back.
okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I said I'm still talking, linking it to being thankful. Okay, God touched this girl, and then in her own way of showing thanks, for because like I said, it's not such an honorable start to put you as a house help. So we removed her. She was more like family, and like I told you, she came to
Child.
America with us.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, she came to America with us on holidays and all that. This girl took it very personal to look after my kids. That is one other thing you can pick. That is why it's being thankful can only, like I always say, is a form of giving a performer invoice for something that will still come. Yeah. So as we speak, when we moved over, she had to she took over. She inherited everything we had in Nigeria. I mean, we took care of her house. In fact, we take care of her and her family right now. The point I'm just trying to make is this: it is important to be thankful in all ramifications. And I'm using my case as an example. This girl showed up. God showed up through this girl. And the girl, and she remembered, because I remember one day I was asking why. She said, look, I asked her, do you want to go? She said, no, how can she go? After all, that she feels like part of the family. So, my point is this: while I was thankful to God, for providing people that helped, in that same way, I just gave you as an example of somebody that benefited from that, my thanking God,
Yes.
because I was obligated to help her out. I was obligated to put her in another status, and she came through. So in a nutshell, God showed up in several ways, and then I can say it categorically: being thankful at every point in time. Okay, whether it was when the kids were graduating from primary school to secondary school, I was thankful and I showed it. Whichever way, I kept sowing seeds of thanks, into their life. And look at me now. Who says I'm even ready to give it another shot? So it's all thanks to God, and
Wow.
all thanks to being thankful at every point in time.
Wow, man, it's the power behind it is unbelievable, and unless you've never experienced something and found out how powerful Thanksgiving is, you then see God at work at His best, because it also takes away the airs that we have, the pomposity that you might come along with when you humble yourself to know that, wow, this person was very, very, very instrumental to my life, right? Um, I remember the story of the lepers that Jesus had healed, and they all walked away, and only one came. Only one came back. Only one came back. Only one. So so it is not something that is very common for people to appreciate the fact that when you've done good for them and when you've been there for them, that just the right attitude. Only one came back, and that one that came back, he gave an extra blessing. He said, "Go, your sins have been forgiven." Right? He was the only one. Everyone was, "You're healed," but this one, "Your sins are forgiven." That means the everything
Yeah,
done plus much
added
more.
value.
So he gave him a lot of added value to that, coming back to say thanks. And I know that in this season that we're in, it's Christmas. People are shopping and buying gifts for everyone. Please do not forget the reason for the season. Just be thankful. If you don't get a gift, be thankful. If you get a small gift, be thankful. If you get a big gift, be thankful. Whatever comes your way in this season, have the right attitude going into 2024 and just stay thankful. My guest today has just explained his own story of how he lost his wife with two young kids at that young age, and God had already placed in his own home. God had positioned in his own home someone from a different part of the world altogether, and he and his wife at early stages now realize, you know what, we're going to make this person part of our family and not just a domestic help any longer. And she became like a daughter. And then all of a sudden, life happens, and that person rises up to the equation to actually be a pillar of support during his very trying time. Obi told his own story, how at the time when he had nothing to eat, he was always grateful and thankful to God. It is very, very important that we always remain thankful at every stage of our lives. The power around it is unbelievable. And so, if you're here today watching myself, Emeka, or Obi, I'm just telling you that please, in all things, give God thanks, no matter what it is. In good times and in not so good times, in bad times, in ugly times, in fantastic times, in abundant times, give thanks. Thanks. Because the power of thanksgiving has no equal at all. Gentlemen, it is such joy when you hear brothers kind of coming to terms with this and actually sharing deeply how important it is for God to give thanks. On that note, next week is going to be the show before Christmas, because I think Christmas comes on Monday. So what I'm going to do next on this channel, we're not ending yet.
Okay.
On this channel, what we're going to do next week, Obi, is we're going to give away. We're going to give money. We're going to be a blessing. We're going to sow into people's lives. So anybody who wants to log in, tell your friends, your family, log in live. We're going to go live, and we'll give a lot of money. It doesn't matter what currency, whether it's in US dollars or whatever is in Naira or whatever currency, wherever you are in England, just log in on time. And once that window opens for giving, boom, we'll just sow into people's life. Yeah, what's up, bro?
Okay, so you just took it away from me. I was just saying in the spirit of the season, but you just mentioned it. It's still to give away something. But you know what? It's either your giveaway. For me, it can't. I mean, it's for Niger people.
Okay.
So my little contribution will be for Niger. Maybe I'm just thinking. I'm sure you draw the criteria. Is somebody? If we have had any consistent person, somebody that has been consistent all this while. And I don't know whatever criteria, but I just think, we'll be looking at the Nigerian people more.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I mean, thank God he said it, but I was just going to add that. I thought you were closing. Yeah. So next Sunday.
So that's confirmation right there. God's God at work. For you to be in Houston and me being all the way in the Washington D.C. area, and our minds are working, then obviously God has a plan to be a blessing to our audience next week. So Emeka said he's going to be able to support. So three of us will come back next week in full force. And if there's anybody else who wants to join us, that's fine. And we'll just be able to give to friends, family, members of the audience. I want my technical team to also please do their best to hype this whole thing so people can log in the right time, so they will see us just being a blessing in this season. Wow, what an opportunity! Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, Mecca, you are. What do you have to tell our audience before you wrap up? We've got 2 more minutes.
Okay. Well, so first and foremost, look, next Sunday by this time, this is the place to be. Okay. And then in everything, they should thank God. They should just keep thanking the person, thanking their God, thanking their bosses, thanking their parents, thanking their friends. But remember, they have to be here next week Sunday. Yeah. And especially my Niger people. More na show. Obi, tell Niger people, get them. HK, send me this link so I go share them. Look, there's something good about when you see the happiness in people's faces. You understand. I've done it before. Yeah. So I want to have that kind of feeling. So please, my Niger people, show no matter how small we be, we'll go share it. Now $1 we'll go share it. We'll reach everybody.
Exactly. I agree with you. Man. Thank you. You're a ball.
I know they do pounds and dollars.
Why can't you do pounds and dollars? You're a dollar man now. You're a dollar man now.
Matter. Obi go understand. Obi know waiting at the top. Yeah.
Obi says something. Why
I like the energy in the house, and we will take you back home. So I will say this, because this clip is going to be useful for the giveaway. So I will say it here, so that by the time we're taking it out for advert, people could hear it. So we want our followers, we want our fans to ensure that they are following us and they are commenting. Follow us on all handle, Facebook, YouTube, and then make sure you share and comment and like.
You never can tell. That might be one of the criteria.
That's true. That's true.
Exactly. And then I would say this. Emeka, by next episode, I will ask you a question. Maybe I will give you an idea. And that is this. Do you agree with in all things give thanks, and why? I think that should be
Then we will continue from next week.
last thing I have to say is it takes one who is a giver to see the importance of thanksgiving. It is not, people who do not give thanks don't understand what it takes to give. Those who have the habit of giving thanks understand what it takes to give. And I will leave it at that. When we
Wow.
come back this episode.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. I couldn't have said it any better. I think you guys have really hit the ball on the head. For those who are watching us, go to YouTube on our podcast, BNS, Broken Not Shut Out Podcast, and join us live. You can join us on the same podcast on Facebook. And as from next week, we're going live on Instagram. So if you are on Instagram, you can join us on Instagram, and people will find a way to get this money or whatever gifts we have across. All right. On behalf of my guest, who is my brother.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. Gentlemen, hold on a second. Don't leave yet. We're going to take a quick break, which is something we always do. We haven't done today. And then when we come back, everyone will have their last word and we'll wrap up this show. Just 1 second. All right. Now, there's somebody who is watching live online. I don't know where they are. If you are, please go into the private chat and put your name. That alone qualifies you for this gift for next week. I just see somebody's name. Just put the first person to put in their name in the private chat. I can see your name if you put up here, and that will be our first recipient, wherever you are in the world. Just say something. Give me your first name. If nothing else, I'll know who you are, and then we can track it from there. All right. All right. Let's take it this way. Oh, Emeka, your last word.
Yeah, for our potential givers, like we said, being thankful has its own reward. So if you've watched today, you can also join us, be part of us. You don't have to be on the front scene. For the back burner, who says you can contact Iked, send whatever you have, and then like me, I'm insisting on Niger, and you can also insist on Niger or whatever. But I'm just saying, it's not on Sunday. We're not just expecting people that want to benefit. We're also saying that people that want to give, like Obi said, it takes a giver to know the value. So I'm sure there are so many givers around us in this space that know the value of giving. So we're inviting them to come on board. Let them come to the table.
Like my brother in Kem, we have to get in Kem to give. You have to get Jimmy to give.
Exactly. Now you're fine. I can get also my brother to give. So what I'm saying, more people should just come. Let's do it.
I
like that. Obi, go ahead, sir.
It has been a wonderful year. My grandmother will always say, Oborochi Kelechi.
Yes.
You in the morning, thank God. And if you live from January to December and you're alive and healthy, it is worth giving thanks. So let's come back next week and we'll thank God more.
Wow. Thank you, gents, for this wonderful show. On behalf of the audience and the family of Broken Not Shattered, for all your support that you've given unto us throughout 2023, in the ups and the downs, you've always been there. Our numbers are increasing. The audience are growing. The title of the concept of this whole platform is Broken But Not Shattered. It's for life to flourish, continue to flourish in life. And I want to tell all our guests and all our audience, thank you in our famous 3 words. Let's see you next week. Peace, love,
and more
grace. Thank you, and see you next week on Broken Not Shattered. I hope to see everyone at the appointed time, especially our people in Niger, joining Niger.